Hi, welcome to Common Knowledge Update. I'm Rachel Zagaroli, Senior Services Manager, and I want to tell you about all the great things we're doing at the Novi Senior Center and the Novi Civic Center. If you haven't been to either place yet, the Senior Center is located at 25075 Meadowbrook Road in Meadowbrook Commons, and the Civic Center is at 45175 West 10 Mile. Please stop in either place, pick up the monthly calendar, which has all the programs, special events, classes, lunch menus. It's great to have the calendar on hand to see which programs you want to do each day. We have many things coming up, so make sure you get a piece of paper and a pencil so you can write down all the information that you need. We're so lucky to have a transportation program for our older adults. Transportation runs Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday from 9 to 2 p.m. However, we do have later hours, but they apply for work only. And new this month, we'll take you to any destination within a 10-mile radius of the Civic Center. Cost for out of town is $6 each way, and in town is $4. And any ride to the Senior Center, the Civic Center, and the library is only $1. So why drive in all that traffic when you can be dropped off right at the door? Call 248-735-5617 for more information. We have some great special events coming up, so don't wait until the last minute to get your tickets. Remember, we don't sell tickets at the day of the event or at the door, so plan ahead. Most special event tickets are $7 for city residents and just $8.50 for non-residents. However, check the flyer for prices. First of all, May 17th from 2 to 4 is our Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Wear your best or your craziest hat. Enjoy a proper tea with special finger foods and desserts as you listen to the history of tea. Cost for this event is $5 for residents and $6.50 for non-residents. If you often thought what it'd be like to cruise the Mediterranean, sign up for this Lunch and Learn event. Jo Schertzinger will conduct this narrated photographic presentation of her personal experiences traveling through the awe-inspiring Mediterranean as you eat your lunch. The cost is $7 for residents and $8.50 for non-residents. Next up is the 4th of July, and again, it's not too early to get those tickets. Why not have fun celebrating America's 236th birthday with friends and family? Enjoy an indoor picnic, listen to fun toe-tapping music, and be sure to wear your red, white, and blue. Fun in the Sun picnic is July 17th, and we'll also have a new Pie Master contest. So now's the time to make that, to figure out which delicious pie you're going to make that your family and friends all love. Contest rules will be available at the Senior Center and online. Cost is $7 for residents, $8.50 for non-residents. This event will both be inside and outside. Many other events are coming up that we'll talk about next time, but remember, get all your tickets soon. Please plan on attending and participating in the annual Memorial Day Parade. Forms are available now to register your entry, or if you are a veteran, to pick up your participation form at the Senior Center and the Civic Center and the library, or online at www.cityofnovi.org. Remember, all entries must be patriotic themed. Get a group together, ride in a kids parade, but most of all, honor our veterans. The parade this year will be Monday, May 28th at 10 a.m. Please plan on attending the special tribute to our veterans directly following the parade in front of the Novi Civic Center. Spring and summer are the perfect time to get out and sign up for many of the fitness classes we have for you. New this season is a Tai Chi class with a morning class at the Senior Center and one in the evening at Township Hall. Some classes will even be held outside, weather permitting. Zumba Gold is a fun and exciting cardio-based dance class. Balance class for those that feel a little unsteady. Keep on Moving is for flexibility, balance, and strength strength with cardio, weights, and stretching. Another active form of exercise and is fun is the new paddle boarding that's going to be held at Lakeshore Park. A canoe journey down the Huron River, a nature walk at Lakeshore Park, which would be great to bring those grandkids to, bocce ball on Tuesdays, and line dance. After all this activity, don't miss out on one of the awesome therapeutic massages here at the Senior Center. Pam Kerr does a fantastic job and will help you with all those aches and pains. To get your massage, call 248-909-8806 and make your appointment. Social services are essential to any city, and Novi is proud to have the ability to offer many helpful services to our older adults. We have many names and companies if you're having difficulties finding home health care, and discussions on Medicare and Medicaid. If you are in need of medical equipment such as shower chairs, wheelchairs, walkers, canes, or other items, please call our loan closet at 248-347-0414. However, we do not carry large items such as hospital beds. Here Clear comes in monthly to do hearing exams and hearing cleaning. However, you need to call an appointment for the exams. Blood pressure is held every Wednesday with a certified nurse at 11 a.m. and watch for many of our health discussions. Another new addition to our services is a podiatrist, Dr. Guy. Dr. Guy will be taking appointments for foot care, so please call to make your appointment. Do you have a computer and you aren't quite sure what to do with? We offer many computer classes and many programs on social media such as iPods, iPhones, iPads, all about apps using technology to maintain your independence, ebooks, Skype, Facebook, keyboarding. Find a way to stay in touch with family, friends, and grandkids. If you have a legal question that you can't get answered or confused about, estate planning, Eric Glick and Karen Stewart, who are both lawyers, are here once a month. They fill up quickly, however, so call soon for your appointment. Don't forget, we also have bridge, pinochle, contract bridge, along with a favorite, bingo, on every Tuesday and Friday at 1 p.m. Last but not least, join us for daily lunch, or if you're homebound, we can bring your lunch to you. Call for information at 248-347-0414. As you can see, there are so many fun-filled activities, programs, and events at the Novi Senior Center, so join in, and we'll see you real soon.
The pain will not control us. It will never break us, define us, or keep us still. Because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Hi, welcome to Common Knowledge. I'm Rachel Zagaroli, and with me today is Dr. Tom Miller. Today we're going to be talking about our citizen survey for our older adults, which is a little bit different from our regular national survey. So, Dr. Miller, you have a PhD in Research and Educational Methods from the Laboratory of Educational Research from the University of Colorado, correct?
That is correct.
That was a mouthful. And what's interesting is that you wrote a book, Citizen Surveys, How to Do Them, How to Use Them, What to Do with Them, and that fits in what we're doing here today just perfectly. So I hope you have answers to all these questions that I'm going to ask you.
Just ask me the right questions, Rachel. It won't be a problem.
All right. In 2007, we first got with you to do the brand new CASOA research. It was a beta testing, I believe, but it was one of 5 cities that did that, and we were lucky enough to be able to do this. But from that survey, we got so much good information, and I thought it was a really good tool, and our city manager, city council, all feel that that's good to continue doing this. We did so many good things from that. We had our strategic plan, which became a roadmap for the next 3 or 4 years. We used that to determine what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. So now that's what we're going to do with this next survey. So we did the survey a few months ago, and we sent out, I believe, 1,000.
Right.
And 35% return.
That's right.
Which isn't too bad.
This survey that we're talking about, the Community Assessment Survey for older adults, it's a survey that National Research Center conceived and developed because of the aging population. You know, by 2030, there are going to be 70 million Americans that are over
Isn't
the
that
age of
unbelievable?
65. And Novi does not escape the aging process.
No.
None of us does, and the community as a whole doesn't. So you've got something like 12,500 folks over the age of 55 here, and that represents a significant portion of your population. And as time goes by, those folks are going to be aging, and half of those folks are between the ages of 60 and 74. So in 10 years, they're going to be between the age of 70 and 84. And things change as people age, not only for those individuals, but for the community as a whole. So when a community ages, suddenly the need for things like K through 12 education isn't quite as pressing as it was.
Correct.
So there was a time when you had young families, not that you don't now, you certainly do.
Yes.
But there are so many more older adults that the the political power shifts, the need for various consumer items changes, and the need for various services changes. So you may need more trails and open space than you did before because of the physical needs of older adults,
Correct,
just
correct.
as an example.
Well, we know at the senior center and wherever we're administering to our older adults, their needs are changing all the time. We go from doing very sedentary things, where we don't have to hardly move at all, and then we're moving into these huge things where it's all physical activity and making sure that everyone stays healthy so that they can live in place and take care of themselves. And that's what our big needs are, is that we make sure that we know what we're doing with our older adults and why.
And with this community assessment survey, the whole idea is to identify not only what the readiness of the community is for the aging of the population, but what the needs are of the older adults here now. And when we understand what those needs are, then you have an opportunity as a service provider to help people assure that they can age in place so that they don't have to become institutional residents or
Correct.
or have to
Correct.
live in a nursing home.
Right. Well, the objectives of the survey, I want to get those out so that we know everything that was. One is identify community strengths in serving older adults, which is very important. Articulate the specific needs of older adults in the community, which if we don't know what the needs are, we're not going to be able to do that. Estimate contributions made by older adults in the community, what all they can do in the community, and then determine the connection of our older adults in the community.
And civic engagement is a huge issue, and it turned out when we did this survey that was one of the biggest areas of concern. But broadly, when you do a survey like this, and you've now repeated this once, and
Yes.
I think it's your intention to track over a period of time how you're doing, the success of older adults, the success of your community in attracting older adults can have a huge impact on the sustainability of the whole Novi area, because as the community ages and the state ages, there's a competition when people are untethered from jobs to move to places where the quality of life is the highest.
Correct.
And so, given that residents of a certain age can report on their own quality of life, that gives you an opportunity to understand what needs to happen to maintain that kind of service delivery.
Well, and it's very important that we provide all the things that we need to provide for our older adults, because we need them to stay here, and they want to stay here so that they can age in place and stay exactly where they are now. So we have to make sure that we provide all the things that we need to provide for them.
Rachel, one of the things we asked is whether your older adults would recommend living here
Yes.
to another person. And one of the very exciting things we found is that from 2007 to 2012, there was a higher percentage of folks saying that they would recommend this place. It went from about 70% to over 80%.
That's really big.
It's very positive, shows a great deal of connection to the community, and it says that you're doing something right here.
Well, that's a good thing to know. Well, I know from the first older adult survey that we did, one of them was that said that we needed more connection with the community and getting information out, so we established our older adult newsletter, which made it a lot better. And I always know when the newsletter goes out, because they all come in with their newsletter and they want to sign up for classes and programs and participate in things. So that is one way that we use the survey, was to be able to get more information out to our older adults.
And getting, that's a huge need for older adults, and we don't just find this here in Novi, but we find it all across the country. And it's one thing to put out a newsletter, which is great, and it sounds like it's having a super impact. And it's another thing to get that to all the older adults. There are certain older adults who take the time to read that newsletter and participate. And trying to find ways to engage others can be a huge asset.
Well, we try to make sure that we not only mail the newsletter out to over 10,000 homes in Novi, it's also at the Civic Center, it's at the Senior Center, and at the libraries, and all throughout the city of Novi. We try to put the newsletter so that people that we don't normally reach are still able to get that information.
And they'll be the people watching this.
Yes. Well, a lot of people watch the show because they all tell me about it. Well, I want to talk a lot about our new survey that we did and the results of that. But first of all, we need to take a short break, so stay tuned, and then we can know all about the results of the 2012 survey.
it wasn't supposed to rain today. Should have been the perfect day to bike in Novi.
Say there, you look like a safe biker with your helmet on.
I am! And I follow other rules of the road too. I signal when I'm turning left. Or right. Sometimes I signal right like this. And when I'm slowing or stopping, I signal like this. I ride in the center lane when I ride on the road, unless I can't keep up with traffic. Then I ride on the right side of the road. Of course, I use trails whenever I can. There's lots of bike trails here in Novi. You know, cyclists have the same rights and responsibilities on the road as motorists, like yourself.
Well, it sounds like you've got biking in Novi pretty figured out. How can I help?
Well, look out for cyclists like me when you're driving. And don't honk at us. That can make us swerve into traffic.
All right, be safe out there.
Thanks, you too! That was a weird dream. I'm gonna look up more bike safety at cityofnovi.org.
Hi, welcome back to Common Knowledge. I'm Rachel Zagaroli, and with me is Dr. Tom Miller from the National Research Center, and we're going to be talking about the 2012 Older Adult Survey. We talked earlier about, some of the things that we did with the last survey, but I'd like to talk a little bit about the new survey, what we did, how we did it, where we need to do more help, or do more things to make sure that we're doing the correct things. So, how did we do?
Well, Novi did remarkably well.
I like to hear that.
but not surprisingly well, because, as you mentioned, National Research Center does another kind of survey for it. It's a broad citizen survey, and Novi does very well there too. But here, we identified areas of need and areas of strength, and we showed change from 2007 to 2012. And broadly, Novi older adults are feeling more positive about the services that they're getting and the quality of community life here. So I think
which is
very
excellent.
Positive. Yes, and
doesn't mean our work is done.
No, on the contrary. I mean, it really does point to areas of particular need and areas. There were a few areas that didn't do quite as well in that 5-year period, but broadly, it's a very positive report, and I'm sure your viewers will be eager to get a hold of it.
I'm sure they will. It's on our website.
It is.
So we make sure that everybody in the community has access to all of our things that we do. So that is on the website. It's on our senior services website.
That's great.
So it is on there. I think even though we did well, we need to talk about some of the things that we need to improve and the difference between 2007 and 2012. One of those things is housing stress. So why don't you explain that?
Well, there's kind of a traditional definition of housing stress, which is for those folks who are paying more than 30% of their monthly income to housing, it's identified as an area of stress. And so that area increased over that 5-year period. Now, that could have to do with the fact that there has been a serious recession in the state and across the country.
Right.
But it was a slight increase in terms of the percentage of folks who are having to pay that much for their housing or more. And so affordable housing is an area of concern and something that people would, I think, be eager to have some assistance or information about.
And that's one of the things that we'll be working on. Ability to drive. When I read that, I thought, oh my goodness, it's a good thing that we have such a wonderful transportation program here, because I think that will just be utilized more and more in the coming years.
There's a higher percentage of folks who said that they no longer are able to drive, and I guess as you think about the aging population, that is something that's going to continue, given the fact that fewer people are going to be able to drive their own cars. What alternatives are they going to have?
Correct.
So it's great to be thinking about that.
It is, and we're very fortunate in Novi to have a transportation program for our older adults. Many cities no longer have that. They've had to discontinue doing that. So with the support of the community, city council, and everyone, we are able to do that, and we're very fortunate to do that. Last year, I think we had over 11,000 one-way rides. So that shows the amount of service that's needed here in Novi, and as we talked about, that's just going to continue to grow. Physical health needs.
Well, you can imagine that over a period of time, as the population ages, bodies start to
Yes, they do. Regretfully, they do.
cave in, I suppose, might be a strong way of
A little
putting
strong.
it. So as people find, and they give a rating of their own physical health, the rating declined some, kind of on the average across the entire population. The ability to find affordable quality health care and insurance to cover their health care,
Yes.
these are continuing problems.
But I think it helps to provide fitness classes and things for our mental health and for our physical health, to be able to have those types of programs so that people can continue to stay as healthy as possible.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I found surprising is the percentage of folks over age 55 who in the year before this survey had fallen or had been in a hospital, and it's close to 20 to 25%.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It's just, it's remarkably high, and I'm not saying it's remarkably high compared to other places,
No.
but it's just 55 plus is a more vulnerable time.
Well, and that's only who responded to that.
Right.
So we all know, and I know from experience, how many are doing that and not even telling anyone.
Well, I think that's a good point, Rachel. Whenever you do a survey, however you do the survey, and this was done by mail, you get a population that's well enough to be able to participate in the survey. So we estimate that whatever population figures we've come up with, they're probably conservative compared to
Correct.
the real need that's out in the community.
Which older adults have the most problems? I want to get that out before we have to end.
Well, you have the folks who are living alone, you have renters, you have people who are age 60 to 74, generally Hispanic residents of Novi. These are the folks who are having more problems when you count up the total number of problems out of over 40 they could have had.
So we have to make sure that we focus on some of that population also, so that we can address the needs of them.
Yes, I think, you know, the nice thing about the survey is it allows us to kind of provide some segmentation about who are in the greatest need across the population.
And I also noticed that we need to work on more, again, information to the community. So this is one of the things that we're doing to get information out to the community, and then to see what we need to do for that.
I'm very glad to be part of it.
Well, I'm glad to have you part of that. So thank you very much
Pleasure to
for
be here,
coming
Rachel.
in. There's so much more that we need to talk about, and so much more that our older adults need to know about, but I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are working towards making this a wonderful place for people to live and to be able to fulfill all their needs. So we're going to continue to do that.
Great.
Right, thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
As you know, our older adult survey is online, so make sure that go online and get that, or come into the senior center and we can find that for you or make you a copy. It's important that you all know exactly what we need to do and how you need to do that. And if you have any questions, by all means, just give us a call at the senior center. But make sure you read the survey, and thank you so much. Thanks for watching Common Knowledge, and use the information wisely. I know it's going to help you.